Howdy lovelies, how are you all doing? Welcome back to our crafting, where we learn, grow and craft together. In today's session, we're going to work on part 2 of making ephemera, and I had finished off last session again with a battery that just suddenly decided to be done. So I did not show you everything that I was doing. So let's quickly go through that. For the last session, we had then added some of the ephemera from the Digi kit from Digital and SVG Designs for You. And we went through and we added the pockets, which I've done. I added some of the cards. There are still plenty of space for some areas that is not occupied, some where you can just simply add a photo. I have added the little tags, which I'm just keeping them for now with a paper clip still. I haven't finalized it and added the tiny clips. So they are the dangling tags from the center as its crochet thread that I use to do the binding for each signature. So I'll just keep these for now till we finalize the journal to one side, clipped with a paper clip. You can keep it like that, otherwise they will dangle at the bottom of the journal. So you can see we still have plenty of space. These beautiful pages, I've added this. There's that beautiful ticket with the ostrich, those hornbills, lion, buffalo here. I added these small little cards as buckets, so I added some ephemera there. I would like to just finalize that one, add a little print, one of those circular tags there. Added that one. Little tags here, they might change. I use this as a pocket as well, so these can come out. You can of course journal at the back of them. You can add photos on there. You can add photos in there. So I would want to go ahead and make a few photo mats here and there, not obscuring the view, but we will see what we can manage. And then added a few things there. There are 2 cards in there. Added a little bit of string. These strings were from the parts that I had cut off after doing the wraparound binding. I just tied that thread 2 double parts through each, and I used the shorter part to just tie it there. So that's another pocket that was created. This one was part of the kit as well. Then this little one, and that is what I want to do with that other one as well. I just added those 2 zebra tags or circle tags, and we added that piece of paper in there just to round it off. As I did not print it both sides, I should have. It would have saved some time, but I think that worked out perfectly. I added that little pocket with envelope and card inside there. Added the little file folder in here. I might go ahead and just add a few coffee dyed sheets in here, trim it down, and then make it like a little booklet where we can add some more photos or journaling in. More tags there. That's the same way as the first. Another pocket, you can see I've used that and added that little owl envelope with card. Here, still blank. Then the little rhinoceros, so there's lots of space still where we can maybe add a belly band. A belly band is attached from the left to the right or the top to the bottom, where you can just slip things in underneath. Little pockets, this was just glued down on 2 sides, and we can add a tag or some ephemera piece there. We've got quite a bit still left. I still got some big tags left. There, my upside down page. There we have these ones. More tags that I just attached there on top. The other small tiny file folder with the elephant there, and here I've added those 2 envelopes with cards and this tiny tag in the lion's bucket with that background page. Added 3 more tags this side in this little tuck spot here that I've just attached that collage photo page that I showed you how to make, which was then also glued down just on the 3 sides. Then we have these pages where we can still add quite a few things, and then the last page, I've added this pocket here with the other little tags where we added the gold eyelets on. I did not add anything to them yet. And this side, I've made a quick belly band, which is a pity it did not foam, but it's just added. I folded the end in, first glued this side down, marked the edge where this would fold, folded it in, and then glued it down so that this is in its own spot at the back of this journal, but it can be easily accessed. You can add ephemera in this pocket. There's that big journal card in there. There's the space on the inside of the envelope where you can journal, add some goodies in there. So that's where we are at this stage. We will start with making some things, and I think I will just take this one out quickly. Where is it now? And we will start with adding some pages. For that, we're going to use a stapler so that it is just easier. I showed it before, so I'll just show you again using a stapler with an eraser, and we will add the pages. So about 3 or 4, maybe, I don't know, little pieces of coffee dyed paper that we will add to the inside of this. Coffee dyed paper never looks the same, even if you try. It was the way that I have added it, left it to dry, that it makes these little marks. You can see there's some extra marks on here. It's all very individual, unique. So let's see. This is about 17 centimeters wide and 12 high. So let's fold this in half. Let's see. This is not a perfect A4 as far as I know, or maybe it is. As far as I know, A4 is 29.7 centimeters. So we will just get 2 out of there, and then there were a few strips. So that needs to be 24. I'm just going to line this up. You won't probably see everything that I'm doing, but we will see. So I'm going to cut this at 12 straight away, and then we can fold it and trim it so that it is perfect. Don't move now. These guidelines on the cutting mat really truly help. It makes life for a crafter so much easier. Just cut through that. No, I don't throw that away. You know me by now. Then we're going to just simply fold this in half. Yes, you could actually score it and then fold it. I will just use my bone folder to get a good crease in there. Now this is a bit wider than our little thingy, but we're going to trim this now. So let's just see. So it's about 8 centimeters. It will be a tiny little bit shorter, but it's not a problem. And these ones, pieces that we cut off, these strips, will be good for master boards or adding to tags, copying, making some tickets, even full postage stamps. Those are the little bits that I normally don't discard. Now, this is rounded, so I would want to actually also just round the edges as well. So we've got 4 sheets. I'll just do 2 at a time. They are actually quite thin. Let's open them up and keep them nicely together. And I will be using the middle one, which is 7 millimeters. And we'll just round those corners, making sure they are flush. And there we have that. So now for this, you could have used the same binding method to wrap around if you wanted to. But for this, I just want to make it very easy. Just wanting to check that they actually fit in. And okay, there we have that. So they still don't show up on the outside. We're now going to go to the middle of these sheets and of our little file folder. I'm going to just clip this together on opposite sides, still keeping that together, and there. Then using a stapler, I just use a normal office size stapler, opening it up. Then I'm going to turn this over, and I just want to more or less mark for myself where I should put the staples. Doesn't have to be perfect. And maybe there. Maybe this one is not as centered. Either way, you can just center it as you like. That's about a finger space there, so let's do more or less the same thing. And I'm making the mark not precisely on the line, but just down or up from it so that I can see, because we're going to use that bend to actually staple this. So we've opened our stapler, and then on top of that little line, keep it as straight as possible, line it up, and then pop it in there. And this one immediately, just be careful when you bend it. You can use your bone folder. I just find it sometimes slips, and I just press it down on there. If you maybe have a long ridge stapler that can staple to there, by all means. I don't think mine will fit. It only comes to there. So that's why I just simply open it up. And we'll do this from this side as well. because it's just easier without that. Now, there we go. We've got that one in there. Same thing, bend the ends over. See, it slips, so I just press it down with my finger. And this side, be careful when you do that. Man, it hurts when it goes underneath the nail, I can assure you. I've done that so many times, trying to get it, and it goes right underneath the nail. So just pressing that in so that it stays flat, and then we can take off our little clips, and that is then sorted. Let's see if it folds over. There we have it, and just crease that again, and we can add it directly to our little journal, and we have beautiful space where you can now journal. You can add some very interesting facts maybe that you've learned, or your own ideas, thoughts. You can put that anything on paper. You can simply just add memorabilia here or tiny photos. So there we have that. That page is now done. Now let's get started with some other ephemera pieces. I just want to get all of these things out of the way. We still have some tiny little flags that can be added. We've got those tags, we've got these flags, we've got these beautiful washi tape like things, we've got these tiny little tabs, and all of these other little things that can still be added to our project. Inking tool, that needs to be close by. The ink, I'll just put the ink a little bit out of the way here, but I'm sure you will still be able to see me reaching to half of that. So let's just ink these things. No, I did not go ahead and ink those. I know I said we will, but I never did get around to it. And then, you know why I do this? I say it every time. It's just to blemish that one core of the cardstock. It just makes for a better looking. Now we have two of those into the wall because there was one page that I printed twice. Actually, what happened is a part of it, the way that it was feeding through my printer, didn't feed well. So a part of it was not printed, so I reprinted it again, but the parts that was usable I cut out, because you can use this in any project. It's never a waste to have the extra goodies. So we've got that. I also want to ink these little tabs because they are too gorgeous. If inking is not your thing, you can really truly skip the step. I've been doing this so long that if I don't, I truly miss that effect. It just rounds off a project so well. And sometimes you can do it in a contrasting color, but it really just brings things together. This one is a bit skew. Either I cut it skew or I folded it skew. Either way, it's skew. You can open up, or you can do it as I did the first ones, to just ink it back in front. So 3 more. Yes, I have 2 on top of each other here. It's just quicker when it's more sturdy. So I'll just put the other one in front and then just ink the edges again. It just goes much quicker when it's a bit more sturdy. But you don't want that thickness in your journal. So let's do the top and the top of this one and of these 2 that I haven't done. Both back in front. There we go. So those were done. We've got tiny little things. We've got all these to add. They can be added anywhere. We've got these tiny little circle things. Remember I said I want to use one of those circles for that one little pocket. I don't know where it is now. Let's quickly see if I can find it. This one. Do we have a smaller circle in the leopard print? Do we? I think that one will be a good contrast. Doesn't necessarily have to be the leopard print. Going to add that there. You can see it here at the bottom in the right hand corner of the screen, just with glue stick. Going to add that. Why am I doing that? Just rounding that off with the extremity of something. And it's such a beautiful print anyway. So then we just pop it back in there and look at that difference. It just almost looks like a red moon, to be quite honest with you. Or what do they call it? Pink moon, which is very, very scarce. So let's see. I would like to add a few things. Maybe a little... Look at those meerkats. Aren't they too cute? You can make a dangle with those. We can do a belly band. We've got so much here. I would like to just add some washi tape this side. It looks like washi tape. I think it's amazing. These graphics are just perfect. I'll just move the journal up a little bit, attaching that here, having that pattern. With the black. So there's that completion of that. So let's go on. Maybe something up here. I'll use this one. It will be a bit bigger. We can add that there. That can work. I just want to add what we already have before making some extras. I lifted that one up now. Let's just add a bit of glue there. There we go. I think the zebra stripes will be perfect. Again, just add that in the middle. This can be added to tags. It can be added to belly bands. It really truly does not have to just be added the way I am adding it, but I just thought it will repeat that a little bit. Our water hole in the middle, gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. That one has got a border already, so I'm going to add this one there as a pocket. Can be a tuck spot, so I'm going to just put glue on 2 sides, not on 3 sides, just 2 sides. Just a tiny thin slither of glue. So there we have the glue. Put that flat and we will add that there. Yes, we are covering a bit of our border, but that's not the end of the world. I just want to anyway move it in. Now we can add anything here. Now these tags, or tickets rather, are attached. They are way too long, so I'm going to snip them off in half at this point, and I will be tucking in there. You know what? I'm going to just use that. I just don't want to mess this up now by putting ink on the front page. I'm going to use my little tool. Now this tool is one that has got perforation in it. Now I'm just going to run that across on the 3 sides there in the middle of each one, and then you can see it cuts it already into pieces. This one also. There we go. So now we can add that, and it just gives that ticket effect where it is got those little perforations. So I'm going to add one maybe there, add much one, and we can then use this right through the journal. For this one, we've got that strip there, so I'm going to repeat it this side and just add this one also to the center of this. If it's too long, like this will be too wide for the page, you can actually trim it and make it shorter. You can actually go ahead and just tear it. So there we have that repeat. On here, I'm going to add, just to bring in this orange a little bit, I'm going to add one of these, and yes, you guessed it, I will be using that as a little tag spot. Now let's just get it right, not mess it up. Hold it the way where you don't want glue. That way we can't get it all wrong. So we add a pocket on a pocket, just to pull in this orange a bit. We've got the orange there, a bit of orange there, and now the orange on this elephant skin. And you guessed it, let's put a giraffe in there, because we can. Just because we can. Look at that. So the ephemera becomes a pocket where we can add more ephemera in. Here we have more things that we can add. Even there. This is so beautiful. That leopard with a little hoopoe here. Absolutely amazing. Nothing stops us to add a bit of color on this one on the top, just to make it look different. And I'm going to again add it just as a pocket. Just a tiny tuck spot, and we'll add it there, just to break the blue. Now, it's glued down on these sides. We can now go ahead and actually pop something else in there. One of these tiny little things. You can glue it down permanently if you want to, but there you have that. You can write a date there, you can write an emotion there. Surprise, nobody even knows to know that it is a journal spot, that little tag. You always have with every tag, journaling space. So we can add that in there. You won't believe it, my pup is in the next room dreaming, and I can hear him with his little, I call it his bubble woofs. It's too cute. It is so adorable. So, and that is quite loud because the house is quite quiet. I just want to add a bit of contrast again, and I'll do the same thing, just adding that little print on this little envelope, just for a bit of interest. There we go. I want the lines, so I'll put that in the center. Now here, I think that's adorable, but let's see what this will look like. I kind of like that as well. Just making sure the elephants are upright, because I've got a tendency to put things upside down, like that one page in the journal. So that one is again another pocket, and we can add little lion there, or let's see, let's put a giraffe there. Another little tuck spot that can be used as a journaling spot, and it just gives us that feel of our ephemera being well chosen. Don't you just love the things that they included in this kit for us to use? Now here we can add this. To be in nature is to witness 1,000 miracles. I think that deserves a spot up there, not even as a journaling place or a tuck spot, just as a focus piece on this page. It is absolutely, truly awesome. And there's so much when you just breathe in freely. Just want to straighten that a bit. And there we have that. I think that is too gorgeous. Now here, we will add some belly bands and we can do some tags. We still have this, so we've got 2 pieces of washi tape still. Belly bands that can be added. I think this will be gorgeous on here. So let's just add that to the middle. And you can decide whichever way you want the pattern to go, this way or that way. These African patterns are just gorgeous. Then we've got the pots there with Africa. I just want to maybe add this again as a pocket, so I'll just put glue on those edges there. So let's get this straight, just on these corners there and at the bottom, that way, just checking there and there. Right, we'll move that, and that way we can still add something there, and it will be a pocket but also a wonderful flag and a reminder. Nature's not a place to visit, it is home, which is very, very true. Now let's add something there. There's a rhinoceros, a buffalo, and that impala or springboky. Let's add that there. It will kind of close that up, but it keeps that almost as a surprise when you move that. There's that surprise element. A little bit extra there. All right, next page. Here we also need a bit of color. There's that, so I would like to just add this one again as a pocket, making sure the elephants are upright. And some glue at the bottom. And because we've got a lion there, I'm not going to add another lion. I will be adding this elephant there, which is picking up the grays. Now, let's add some more. I love the scene, it's so gorgeous. So we still have a few little extra bits. Let's quickly finish off these tags, and then we will come back to making our own. So here we have these wonderful tags. I think they are gorgeous just the way they are. But let's see. If we add some of this to the side, it will just look a whole lot different. So adding glue, that's exactly what we will then do. On all of it, all the sides, then we fold it in. And it got a bit of extra glue there. Just straightening that up and making sure that it glues well, so we burnish it with a bone folder. I'm going to do that with all of this. So we've got the leopard. Now we're going to do the, I just want to get this, I'll just put glue at the one, just so that I can get this sorted, lined up well. So I just put glue at the back. The front is still not glued down, and we can now glue it down once we fold this over. That way we know that they are actually lined up, and we will add the bottom one there. So just take the front one. This time around it will be the zebra. So we'll do the same thing, just add glue to the back of this, line it up with this one, and then there you have that one. So the same thing, pull out the top one, open up, and then just add glue on this side. And you can now close this up. There we have this. Just putting that a bit straight, and now we've got a beautiful set of tags that have got these little tabs on it, and you can actually bind it if you want to, but isn't that just gorgeous? I love them. So let's find a spot for them. Let's find a spot. Somewhere here we need to add them. Right now they're not going to fit, but that's not a problem. We'll keep it space with a paper clip, and then when we're ready to add them, they are already in its spot, and we can just add a little tuck spot or a belly band for them. Now we've got some paper that we can still use to make some tags with, or cardstock rather. An easy way to add belly bands, these are the papers that are printed from the set, that's still on cardstock, and I've got like 4 or 5 on cardstock still, about 6. And then we've got that sheet that I made, instead of the green one, and then I've got this sheet that I would like to incorporate. I like these drawings, you can use that part as well, any other project, and then we have this sheet as well. We also still have this part that is left from the cardstock that I used to make the belly bands and to make the band for that envelope. So, easy way to make belly bands, let me just show you, is to use the cut-offs that we had from the sides. Now this one is a beautiful one, we can add that one straight away. It's a perfect size to make a belly band or a tuck spot, so we can just trim it off and it's ready to go. Maybe ink that, and then it's ready. And I see my ink pad is still open all the time. It's not alcohol based, but still it can, if open for long times, it can actually dry out the ink. But yes, re-inkers are available to replenish that. So let's see, I'll grab the journal again, and now it's time to add some extra pockets somewhere. Now this one can be a beautiful tuck spot. It's a bit long, so what we'll do is I'll just take this off for a moment. I'll add glue to the bottom, well, all the top, it doesn't matter. And now the glue doesn't come out again. Let me just poke it with my beautiful pokey tool, which is just a paper clip there. And then I'm going to put glue on this side, not all the way, and I'm going to, seeing that I've done it there, glue it down here. And then that part that is sticking over, we'll just trim it. So I'll turn this journal and snap it off. And then we can just lift that top part and pop in some glue there. And that way it is sorted. Remember just to ink that edge as well as all the other sides were inked. It will look awkward if that one is now not inked. Let's lift it because I pulled it apart before I could glue down. There we go. So a beautiful and easy tuck spot. So that's why I don't throw any pieces away till I am done with the journal. After that, I will see what I can use immediately. I try to work off my scraps as soon as possible. Start stamping. This would be perfect for faux tickets and stuff like that, faux vintage tickets. So let's add these little, there we go. And there they have a beautiful little thing. Now we can add that there. We can add just one of these on there. There's so much. We can add the little meerkat. I think that's what I will add there. You can add these little embellishments as focal points on the page, or it can be added as embellishments. I think this is really, really coming together nicely now. I like this. That one can easily be a flap or something. Another belly band. There's so much that you can add here. We've got all these other strips. We've got a narrow one. I do not want to take away from the beauty of the sheets, so I'm trying to add something that can either lift. This will be a good contrast, to be quite honest with you. A shocker, the blue on the orange. Pulls a bit in. See how that now looks like a blue, where it is indeed not. Can be a pocket like that. You can add another strip. Let's see what is there that we can use. The thinner strips like these ones, that I will definitely throw away. I will not be using those. And there's more, but it's okay. We will grab these ones, just these ones. Let's take this red one. These might be narrow. We can add that. You know what? That could have been added to a tag if you really wanted to be frugal and make the most, thinking about the environment, not just wasting paper. I one day had attended a scrap session. I had a beautiful time to actually be able to scrapbook. I'm going to just trim this just with my nail by the gray part. There we go. And then trim this, well, already trimmed it, I mean ink it. As I was saying about the scrapbook session, the lady that was presenting it, showing us, having it, whatever, eventually said, even your scraps are straight. I do not waste. Certainly don't waste my paper. So there are really tiny bits. I'll look for something that I can stamp on that I can add somewhere. That can easily be added to a masterboard. Or you can use the strips and add that to a tag to make the background. Or you can have that as little washi tapes. Just want to add this pocket, so I'll be putting glue on 3 sides. I'll show you with one of the strips what I mean, to use it as washi tape. So what we can do is maybe see quickly. I need to be back here in a minute. So maybe you can take something like this. Just going to grab a very thin one, which is literally just a strip that was cut off the side from this page on the other end. So I'm just trimming off the white. This now can be added on there. It just finishes off your little tag. Not extra, nothing extra. It's not extra work, it's not extra anything. It's a scrap piece that you would have thrown away. So if you have those little things that needs to be maybe just liven up a bit, or you've got those extra little strips, you can use that. You can use that by all means to just add. Now this one I can't add it to the bottom. I will just add it on top. Run that glue stick across, put that there and there, and trim that tiny little last bit off. And there you have, without effort, just something extra added to there that you made this your own by adding your own personality to it. Could have been in bright colors like African prints, whatever. So there you have it. This one is not glued down properly, so let me just lift that and glue that edge together. And now they have a place to go. So let's continue. That's what I've put in there. This one is now glued down, ready to have something going in there. Now for now, I'm going to just add this little envelope. It's not done, it's not sorted, but we can just finish that and add it in there, which is another journaling spot. You can add this as the closure, maybe there, glue it down, have a Velcro dot at the back, and it will be pulling everything together. Anything of that sort. Right, what else is there? I would like to add another belly band maybe here. I think the blue, just because we have it, I'll take the wider blue one, which was cut off from the side of the page. Again, ink this to bring in that vintage feel, and in here it just means that the dryness of the African savannas. This is okay. I thought it would fit. Tiny little bit too long. Again, glue, not too much, and on this side. Now I'm just going to take a bit off because I'm not sure where this is going to glue down. If I do that, I'm going to close my guinea fowl, but you know what, it is what it is. So I'm going to just trim this off at the bottom of this sheet. Oh, a bit skew, because I'm scared I will be trimming that page at the bottom. There we go, there we go. And that is how we will use all the little scraps. And like I said, that's why I don't throw them away up until such point that I'm done with the journal, because little bits like this can help you out and you've got some beautiful things going. Now something like this, let me show you something else. I'm going to just trim this. I don't know how much I need of it, but I'm going to just take 4 little strips of that. Add that there, and I'm going to just trim that with a hand, and then without worrying too much, fold this over in half, just like that, and trim off the excess. That's what is sticking out. Doing the same method that I did earlier, using the eraser and the stapler, opening this up and turning this over. I can still trim it if need be. Yes, I'm using my journal now as the base, pull it out, and then using my bone folder, if I can find it, close it, bend it in again, and I see it's not perfectly in the middle. Bend, 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 straight in, push it in so that it is. Now let's crease this one, the bone folder, both sides, just so that we can get it to fold. And there's a bit on the side that's sticking out. With stuff that would have been thrown away, we now have a tiny little booklet that you can add anywhere. We can even pop it in there. It can be little notes, it can be whatever you want it to be. and it would have all been just thrown away, and now it is useful in the journal. So there's tiny little things that you can do to use these little bits that are either left over. I normally do this before I'll go ahead and using full sheets to complete a journal. So let's make a tag. I know some of you have been following me for some time already. I'm just grabbing those things again, making sure nothing's got stuck. Just going to cut with my trusty craft knife a little strip of paper with the ruler that we can now turn into a tag, or let's make a tag booklet. So I'm going to fold this one this way just for now, just so I can get the size, and then make sure it's flush. Might have been a bit skew from the previous fold. We can trim this and we will fold it the other way. There's another tag that we can use. Going to fold this over, trim the bottom as it is obviously skew. Sorry for the noise in your ears. Right, now for this to work we can use our little tool that I showed you before. It's just a tag that, a card, I mean to say, that I cut the corners. You can use a normal tag that you have maybe on your desk. Now flip this over. This was my ID card, that's why it's blackened out. And those pieces can then be discarded. There we have a beautiful tag. Now, here, what are we going to do here? Let me show you. One of these strips, just showing you ways and ideas that you can use the scrap pieces. Utilize that before you cut into new pages. I just want to cut the white off. It will be looking as if. Now, this we're going to just add there. I need to cut it off by that white. That's the size. Some glue. Yes, we're going to put pockets at the bottom. That's a bit too much glue. I can tell you now. It will run out. And then I just want to put a little bit there in the middle. So I'm going to add this, just making sure you can see, add this there. Yes, there's ink running out. I told you there will be ink running out because I did add too much. Just a quick wipe should fix that quickly. Before it's dry, just run a little piece of cloth around the edges and that is sorted. Now, because we already have this folded in the middle, where we folded it over, we can now just simply gauge that. You can help it along with your scoring tool. And there we have this beautiful tag. But if you open it up, it's a tag pocket. And you can add little things in there. Now, from this, we are going to make another tag. So let's see. I'm going to use this. This is about the width. I just want to just measure it. I'm going to cut about a strip of that, just to make sure it fits in nicely. So it's 1 centimeter that I'm cutting off. The length, yes, the length will be fine, but remember we have got that now, so that will fit in there. But let's work on the length. Let's just see how far. So about 2. Just keep it straight, and then I'm going to just trim that off. And that little card, just to help us along with cutting. Remember, we used this smaller one. Or did we use that one? I think we used that one. So cut the ends, or those little corners, flip over, do the same on the other side. You can really do this with different sizes depending on what you use, or you can simply use a normal corner rounder or one of those that cut the ends. You can also just use a normal pair of scissors. Right. Just want to ink these edges as well. And this side too, as well as the inside. Now that's something I tend to forget. Once I'm done with this, I will continue with something else and forget. I need to actually open it up and do the same thing here. It just rounds it off, like I said so many times. Yes, I'm saying it more frequently because I have people asking me via email, why am I constantly saying the inking part? Yes, one, I remind myself, and two, some people ask, why do you always ink the edges? It rounds it off for me. I love the look of the inked edges. If you don't like that, skip it. It's not that you have to do this. Now here, that fits in there. I just want to round this off a little bit with adding a little tag, let's see what we can add. Maybe Maybe there's still a bit of blue left somewhere. I know there is. We just had it. Where is it now? It disappeared. And I know it was here. We can use that, but there was a bigger piece, wasn't there? Only that. It's fine. Don't worry. We'll just fold this over. I think like that. You can see it's the back of the kit that I'm using. I think that is wide enough. Yes, that will be perfect. Now for this to work, I'm going to use one of my all-arounders, and I'm just going to punch this, I think this way, and it will look like a ticket now, but that is perfect. Absolutely perfect. I've almost lost the tag now. My goodness. Now I'm going to just cut a little slit in this one in the middle, just so that I can get it to move wherever I want it to be. This glue is a bit dry, so it will go on a bit more thicker than normal. Now this one, why did I put a slit in? So that it can fit over there, and I can move this where I want it to be, which right now is quite skew. It's quite big, and the one at the back moved. So let's just pull that, and that's due to the glue being so sticky because it's open so long. So there we have it. There's now a bit of glue. Let's just erase it before it's dry. There we go. And there is our tab. Now just ink that. Yes, we could have inked that before we added it to the tag, just front and back. And now we have a lovely tag that we can add. That was actually made with some of the scrap pages. See, I have added too much glue there at the bottom, and it glues down. If it doesn't fit in, I want this to stick out a tiny little bit. Not too much, just a tiny little bit. There we go. And we can add something in here, maybe like a little buffalo. Buffalo can go on there even. I like that. I kind of like that. That's what we will do then. When we find something we like, we can just add that. So add that, and another piece. Gorgeous. I just love these ephemera pieces. Absolutely gorgeous. And there we have that. We can add it to our journal. We have loads of space to journal, add things. As you go on, you can add photographs, which is what I think will happen here. Our little tags, we can add that with tiny clips, tiny little paper clips. So little tabs, little clips, I mean to say. We can add this. I just had to clean off all these extra bits of paper here. I will just add that with a tiny little paper clip. You can use regular paper clips. You can go for the plastic coated ones, which will then add some extra interest to your pages. These are the tiny Tim Holtz paper clips, and they can keep those in place. There we have this. Oh, I just love it. It's so gorgeous. Let's do another one. We'll keep this close by, not too far, not too far away. So let's add another. We've got that showing, so maybe we can use this as a belly band or a tuck spot. And I'm going to just cut this white off as well. It is exceptionally hot today. Very hot indeed. That needs to go there. That's not paper. It is actually some of the ephemera. I'm going to add this here. Again, just checking where more or less there. Just making an indent with a nail. Yes, that is a bit... Wait, short one. I now need the long one. Add that in the edges. Right around, and then we will add the glue. I'll just put the glue down so that it can start running to the front. It's quite thick. This glue is quite thick. See, it just runs that off too beautifully. And now I think I want that there, right? So the side, some glue, and on the white side, which is closer to my palm, I'm just going to turn it so that it's easier to apply the glue. I will continue off camera to do the rest of my things. Just a few tags still that I want to make, and I will add this, and then next time we will then come for a flip through of the journal, which you will now know what it looks like. We still got these sheets here that we can actually, those are the end papers that I printed. I like this one, so I will start with that. So I will make a few more thingies to incorporate what is left. We still have this left, so I would like to just somehow incorporate that also in the journal and finalize it. So next session will be the last in the series, where we will have a quick show and tell, aka a flip through, to see what our journal is looking like. I will also add a closure, which will just be a band that I am attaching here, maybe an elasticated band just to hold it together. That will be easy to take off, and for that I will probably use one of those things just to add a little bit to it. Thank you for joining me today. If you want to go and try this for yourself and you do feel inspired, please tag Mama Crafting on social media. If you want to see more content like this, give me a thumbs up. And as always, I'll appreciate it if you subscribe to my channel too. If you haven't done so yet, please hit that notification bell so that you can be notified of new content whenever I upload it. See you back soon. Goodbye.